Thank you all for joining. Nice to see you here. My name is Sabina Engdahl. I'm the Group Digital Marketing Officer at System Verification. We should, of course, dig deeper into the topic of today, but let's start. For some of you maybe don't know System Verification as well as others, so we would just like to share a glance of who we are. So I will share this image instead. We are an international company based in 4 countries. We have 13 offices, and our recent one is Munich that we opened just recently. We have over 300 employees, and we actually have 38% women in an IT world, so that makes me very proud and in the right direction. All 13 offices are driven by the same vision, and we work really close to each other in many different projects and internal work as well. So that is both really something that we enjoy to do, but we actually learn and see a lot of opportunities connected to that. So that's really nice to see. I would like to also start with saying, well, why are we here then? And what can you expect from today's session? I will just show you that. Good. So today we will look closer into when and how to start with nearshoring as a delivery model. And some of you have probably thought about nearshoring in some way before, but maybe ended up in it's too big of a project or too complex to start with, or you're not sure if it's the right time for your organization right now to start with it. So we hope to help you to see the possibilities and answer a few of the questions that is in your heads connected to nearshoring. We will, of course, share the recording of this session afterwards. We will have it on our website and probably be able to email it as well for those of you who want that. If you have questions, please ask them in the chat and we will answer them in one way or the other. If we don't have time during this short session, we can answer them through a blog post or emails or that kind of thing, of course. But we are eager to see your questions regarding this area so we can be even better to communicate them and answer them, of course. And if you want to come in contact with our guests today, you're most welcome to either reach out on LinkedIn or other suitable channel that you prefer. But well, we should not dig deeper into this, of course. I would like to of course, present my guests for today. So without further ado, please share your screens, my dear colleagues. Nice to see you. It felt so lonely sitting by myself. Nice to see you. So I will start with asking you guys to present yourself a little bit better. So let's start with you, Fredrik.
Okay, yeah, thanks. My name is Fredrik Imsberg. I'm the CEO of System Verification Sweden. I've been working with nearshore deliveries for 10 years, and I've been working at System Verification for 18 years.
Great. Great to have you here with your experience. And over to you, Anissa.
Hi, so I'm Anissa, and I'm the Customer Success Manager here at System Verification. I'm based in Sarajevo and kind of responsible for clients with the delivery from Sarajevo. I'm actually very happy to be part of this webinar and maybe answer some of the most frequently asked questions. So great.
Perfect. And Abby then?
Hello, everyone. My name is Abdulkarim Chorbo. I'm working as a consultant manager in system verification in Germany. Previously, I have been working in system verification in Bosnia, but more about that later on in the webinar. Glad to be here.
Awesome, thank you. Sounds like the perfect guests to me, and I'm really glad you're here. So then I would like to just dig into the topics of today, the when and the how, to start with nearshoring as a delivery model. But of course, the when feels like the perfect place to start. So when should you start thinking about nearshoring as a delivery model? Do we have any specific, most typical situations we see, and something that we can share? Anissa, would you like to start?
Yes, and I have to say it is a good question to ask. And I know that some of my clients have been asking themselves at some point, so whether it is a good point or not to start with nearshoring. And the simplest and easiest question is like always, any situation and any setup is a good ground to actually introduce nearshoring as a delivery model. So whether you are a large company but are struggling with finding maybe competence locally, or you are a startup or a scale-up company and who strongly believes in their product and need a quick way of scaling up of finding highly competent people. So this kind of flexibility actually gives you a peace of mind. So you can focus on your core business rather than asking yourself if you will find the right people to help you in this journey. Yeah, and then again, lately what we have seen is that it is a great way if you want to be sure you are getting value for money. And also compared to local delivery, it is a way to optimize your cost, of course.
Cool. So actually, it seems like there's no bad time to start with nearshoring, right?
Not according to our experience.
Sounds good. But Fredrik, I know that in meetings you probably hear at least a few misunderstandings, maybe myths, when you talk to companies about nearshoring. Could you share some, maybe? You're muted.
Sorry,
of course.
rookie mistake.
No problem. We should have that at least once.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take one for the team.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say there is a lot of misunderstandings or myths or what do you say, excuses why not to start. And I've been thinking about my meetings during the years, and I came up with the four most common ones. And the first one is that you need a certain size of your company to be a candidate for nearshoring. And I would say we have customers in all kind of sizes. It could be 10 person company, or it's a 10,000 person company. So size doesn't really matter here either. And number two, I would say a myth is that you already need to have a QA team with like 4+ people. And that is also, with my experience, we have introduced quality assurance to customers who never had that role or never really worked in a structured way. And we started off with nearshore, with a nearshore delivery right away. So that's totally no problem at all. And number three, I would say, and this is, you can see this in many different ways, but it is that it's not possible if we have hardware involved in our products or the things we create. And I would say we have customers in the smart home business or smart kitchen business, or we always find a way for solving the hardware issue, either to work with hardware remotely or just get it down to our office in Sarajevo. We have a lot of people going back and forth, so most of the things that could be in a suitcase can be transported really easy. Otherwise, we have other ways to get hardware down to the office, so really no problem here either. And the fourth and the last one is that people think they need nearshore or offshore experience to be able to start. They need to have been working with it in some way. And I mean, you always have to start somewhere, and we as your partner will hold your hand and make sure that we will succeed together. So also a myth. And we've been working with this since 2013. And I mean, we have solved most of the problems, and with openness and transparency, we are able to get a good structure and a good way of working together with our customers. So.
Nice. Interesting you mentioned 2013, because maybe we can share an example of that when we started and how the journey has been. So I know that you, Abby, were a part of when we started back in 13. Could you please tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure, Sabina. It is really my pleasure to talk with you about a client case that I personally have been working with for approximately 3 years. It is currently one of our biggest clients, and since they are present worldwide, it is really of great importance for them to have a high quality product. But first, who is this client? Well, they are a world leader in 3 key technologies: heat transfer, separation, and handling of fluids. They have customers that operate in around 100 countries in a variety of industries. And they have actually tried to do some outsourcing of the testing activities in the past, but it wasn't successful for them, I would say luckily for us. And they decided to move back the testing back home to their home country, to Sweden. As it usually goes, the internal IT department decided to do the testing, but soon they noticed that they need some help there, that they are understaffed, and that they need some high competencies to continue with their testing activities of their systems. Therefore, they decided to contact us, System Verification, in 2009, and we have actually started with a small team of 3 people. And of course, after some time, we have increased that operation. In 2013, the client decided once again to team up with System Verification and to try out our nearshoring services. The plan was simple. They will first 3 months let both teams from Bosnia and from Sweden work in parallel. And then after these 3 months, they will decide if they will continue with nearshore or not. Me personally, as a newly graduate from Sarajevo School of Science and Technology University, I started working at System Verification in 2013. At that time, first, I've started taking the ISTQB courses and also working on our first real project in parallel with the colleagues in Sweden. And when I say in parallel, it really was in parallel because we have been basically creating the test cases for the same user stories as our colleagues in Sweden. So you remember at the beginning of the story that the client wanted to have a trial period of 3 months. That didn't work out, unfortunately, because after only 2 months, they have noticed that we are up to the task and that they will continue with the nearshore team from Sarajevo. So, of course, during the next period, the number of consultants has increased, and I know that we still are working with this client. But maybe Frederick could tell us more about how does the setup look like currently.
Yes, that's true. And today we're around 40 consultants working for this customer, and we have changed the team structure during the years. Before the pandemic, the majority of our delivery was from Sweden. But as many of you experienced, the pandemic really boosted both nearshore deliveries and the work from anywhere possibilities. And so did it for this customer. So after the pandemic, we have our majority of our delivery from our nearshore center in Sarajevo. And I thought, Anissa, can you please share what kind of services we provide today?
Yes, of course. And I would like to highlight it's for this customer, but for other customers as well. So since 2013 and the very start, our consultants here have been developing in different roles. Of course, we have manual testers, automation testers that are experienced in different technologies. And lately, we have seen a lot of inquiries towards Microsoft stack technologies, Dynamics, Azure, and so on. Then we have our senior consultants who are there to set up the test automation framework and everything from scratch. We have those that have proven to be good leaders, so they have taken over some management roles. And of course, some of our colleagues here and consultants wanted to develop further as Scrum Masters, Product Owners, and DevOps engineers. So I would like to say we kind of try to balance the preferences of our consultants with inquiries from our clients, of course, and to kind of meet those needs.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that customer story that actually also became to show where we are right now, and it sounds amazing. But I would like to ask then for new customers and companies that haven't started yet, how would the process of the start look like? Anissa, could you answer?
Yes, and for this question, actually, Sabina, let's imagine for a moment that you are a CEO or a CTO of a company, and you are looking for assistance in the QA field. And actually, you are maybe not even sure what kind of service you need at the time. You have heard of system verification, or a contact of yours recommended us, and now you reached out. So the first thing we would do is set up a meeting to learn more about your business, about your product, the project in question, and actually what you expect from an external partner.
Okay. But would you say that you will be in that meeting and having a chat with us, and how would that look like?
Yeah, so in the first instance, it's important for us to learn more about each other and to know where the need comes from, actually. Sometimes I also involve some of our senior consultants in those calls, so they can give maybe a more hands-on opinion and suggestion. And as I said, we try to gather as much information as possible. And after that, the next step kind of would be to gather all that information and come back to you with a suggestion. That would usually look like a proof of concept. So an example on how the whole setup and how the whole process would look like. Based on that, we can always agree if you want to go with one person or a team of consultants, and for how long. We have some clients, and in some cases, we decide to go for a test period of 3 to 6 months, during which time we review and evaluate how the process is going, if you are satisfied with the delivery, and maybe if you want to change something for the future delivery. In this process, as you can see, we really try to be a partner here and really take your input and combine it with the experience we gathered over the years to give you the best possible option.
Cool. Sounds like I want to have that meeting with you.
I hope I pictured it a bit closer, how it would look like.
Perfect. But then I think that we have in our discussions and in our conversation now answered a lot of whens and actually hows to work with this or start with nearshoring as a delivery model. But do you have any other details or other comments you would like to send to the listeners we have today at the webinars? Is there anything negative with nearshoring, for instance?
Since my microphone is on, I would like just to be first, maybe want to say something. I know, and previously we maybe have seen some negative sides in terms of if the rest of the team is based locally and we have 1 or 2 persons based like within a nearshore delivery, so outside of the country and so on. So it might feel a bit like the team is dispersed. So that has kind of created some issues before. But as Frederick mentioned, during the pandemic and now after we have seen a lot of local employees working from home. So that it kind of doesn't matter anymore whether you are working from home or from a different country completely.
No. Super.
Yeah,
and it is really cool what you said. Sorry, go ahead.
Just want to add that's also the possibility to make the team travel to the customer and stay for 1 week or a couple of weeks to really get to know each other. So we try to do that every now and then to build those bridges and not
Exactly.
go into
That was my
negative.
comment as well. Anything else you wanna leave with before I wrap it up? No other comments?
No.
Cool, because then I would like to just sum up the lessons learned or the key takeaways that I at least have taken with me after this conversation. And the first one is there's a lot of myths and misunderstandings about challenges about nearshoring, but in our minds, at least when we work with it every day, it's not true. There are great potential and possibilities with nearshoring, which can help a lot of companies if you just dare to. And it does not have to be a huge undertaking. You can start small in small scale and find out the best way that fits you and your company's individual needs. So that I think that is 3 really important parts to take with us today. Today, I think that there are no questions right now, at least in the chat, so we will keep it short. If you have questions, thoughts, anything you want to reach out about, please contact our dear guests. I have a slide here just showing the names and the roles of our guests, so I will share that with you. Very soon. It's here. I hope you see it well. And then I would like to thank both our guests for taking the time to help me today with this webinar, and all of you who joined and listened to our conversation. So thank you so much and have a great lunch and afternoon. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.